Hey everybody, welcome back to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is Mardu Madness. I don't really know any other way to describe it. So this list somehow, this is incredible that Modern can do this. So I want to make sure I credit the right person here. Tinchi got 8th place in the Modern Challenge on Magic Online with this deck, and that, for people who don't know, that's a large tournament that has on Magic Online that has big turnout, and this deck top-8'd, and this deck is insanity. Or I guess it may be more accurate, right? It's madness. It's madness. Okay, so I've not changed the list at all. This is 75 cards of the list that Tinchi used, the top 8. Even though I look at it and I'm like, man, what is Ruthless Sniper doing here? But I'm gonna play it as is. Okay, so we have a bunch of madness cards in the deck, and it's a black-red deck. It's technically Mardu because of Lingering Souls, even though we can't even cast the front half. Which, okay, whatever. But whatever, right? It's Mardu. So, 1-drop spot, Crypt Breakers, Ruthless Snipers, and it's all about discarding cards and having madness. So, Zombie Infestation, discard 2 cards, get a zombie. Call the Bloodline. I guess it was a good thing they made an F&M promo of it, right? Discard a card, create a 1/1 black Vampire Knight creature token with lifelink. Once each turn, you can activate it. Other discard outlets include Liliana of the Veil. All right, so those are our, it looks like we have 15 discard outlets. Now, for the payoff, we have Ruthless Sniper, which will just gun down ruthlessly, as it turns out, any small creatures. Randomly, there's a Fatal Push and a Dark Blast in here. Sure, why not? A little more removal. Big Game Hunter. I love this one. Madness for 1 black. Kill all the big creatures. So it's great against Bant Eldrazi or something like that. The Lingering Souls, of course, great to discard and flash back. Liliana of the Veil helps us discard, plus is the best Planeswalker in Modern, so that helps. Squee, Goblin Nabob. Old Squee, he is fodder for everything. For 1 mana, you can you can discard a Squee to call the Bloodline and get a 1/1 lifelinker. And it'll always come back, so this is a great discard. Voldaren Pariah, I love this one, and this is probably part of the reason for this deck's success. It can make a lot of creatures really quickly with the zombie infestations, the Call the Bloodlines, the Crypt Breakers. Crypt Breaker is really good in the deck, as you might expect. But you get into play, and you just can immediately transform it. And when you do transform it, your opponent sacrifices 3 creatures immediately. So it's really, really strong for what it does. Plus, at that point, it's a 6/5 flyer that you've paid 3 mana for. Now, we have Driven to Despair. Now, again, we cannot cast the front half of this card. So we just put it into our graveyard to cast Despair, which means our creatures make players discard a card when they deal combat damage to them. So this is probably pretty good against your control decks or your combo decks or anything like that. Hit them with 3 creatures, make them discard 3 cards. That's pretty strong. Now, this is, I think, probably the thing that really makes this deck work, is as weird as that sounds, Grave Scrabbler. It's a 2/2 zombie. Madness, it costs 4 mana. Madness costs 2. When it enters the battlefield, if its madness cost was paid, you can return a creature card from graveyard to its owner's hand. So while I was testing this deck, I played against Grixis Death Shadow, the best deck in Modern. And I just effortlessly crushed them in 2 games because it was just like Grave Scrabbler, discard to Crypt Breaker, get back the other Crypt Breaker that they killed. Discard to Liliana, get back the other Grave Scrabbler. Discard that Grave Scrabbler to Zombie Infestation, get back Crypt Breaker or whatever, right? It just creates these crazy loops, and this deck just has recursion like crazy, and that's really what it works. It's weird. It's a madness deck, but it's not trying to turbo out anything crazy. It's just trying to grind people out with the value of recursive. You know, Crypt Breaker's card advantage. Grave Scrabbler, as weird as it is card advantage, right? The Big Game Hunters are, to an extent, card advantage, and you can return them with the Grave Scrabblers. And it's just this weird package that I guess works at top 8'd, and that doesn't happen very often. I mean, that's a real accomplishment, top 8ing those Modern challenges. So congrats to Tinchi, and I had to give this deck a go. So let's see how it plays out. I'm excited for this one.